everyone, welcome here, ladies and gentlemen, to my career mode in F1 2018 Season 2, round number 17 for the Japanese Grand Prix. And yeah, we're currently sat 9th in the championship standings. We are about 30 points clear of Esteban Ocon, who's in 11th. So it's certainly looking good for us in this late phase of the championship going into the last 5 rounds. It looks like we're most likely going to be inside the top 10 if we can get maybe 1 or 2 more points finishes, but obviously that depends down to us and is on our shoulders for then the upcoming 5 races remaining. In terms of the championship, it looks like it's going to be a Vettel championship, so it looks like Vettel and Hamilton, well, Hamilton will be our Season 1 winner, Vettel will be our Season 2 winner, making them both then 5-time world champions in the game, of course. In reality, Hamilton's the only 5-time current 5-time world champion on the grid, and the first 5-time world champion since Michael Schumacher, obviously, when he won his 5th back in 2002. But obviously, technically the first 5-time world champion, obviously on the grid, technically since obviously 2012, because Michael Schumacher had 7 titles, if you know what I mean, and he retired in 2012, obviously. In terms of what we've got, I'll just show you our car and our R&D. So we've only got to make one more provisional payment. We can do that either at the end of this video or at the start. Most probably going to do it at the end. And yeah, so on and so on. But yeah, just a quick show on last time's out result, finishing P9, not bad, not great. I think we should have done better personally. We had an alright Grand Prix, not too bad, not too great. I would like though to do better, but this circuit here, last year in Season 1, we finished in 12th. Based on that, I would have to say then we should be looking maybe for our first point score at this circuit for the first time. Now, obviously, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. You're very much welcome to. I upload F1 content and car racing content mainly, and do a little bit of FIFA career modes every now and again. But yeah, please subscribe to the channel if you're new. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the stream, and comment down below in the comment section. You're very much entitled to. Everyone is welcome here on this channel, and yeah, hope you enjoy my content. Anyway, gonna put a setup on the car quickly whilst we wait. We're gonna put that setup on the car only because I've been using it online in a lot of online lobbies recently, and I'm finding it quite good as a setup for not just one circuit but for all circuits that I've done so far online. So hopefully it'll be the same offline here, you know, that it will work. Anyway, through 130R, starting off the circuit then through 130R, yeah, then into this famous corner where Senna and Prost crashed in, I think it was 1989, I'm gonna say, or 1988, one of the two. Anyway, down then the hill, and it is quite a steep hill into this banked right hand, 2 double right-handers, missing the second gate. Still get purple, so it doesn't mean we can't get the ideal target score. Of course, just means now we can't get the ideal target score. But yeah, if we can get a green on this first one, that'd be good now, or just get some R&D points. Obviously, it's important we score R&D points, not only to keep the upgrades we have for this season, but also to make upgrades going forward into Season 3 if we are going to stay with Williams. Because I said at the end of my last video, I am thinking about changing ship, or changing team, should I say. You know, if I don't think we're going to have a great chance going into the next new season. So we will see, you know. But obviously there's also been a big structural change in terms of there's been a big structural change in terms of the way things are. I'm gonna use a flashback quickly because I was a bit distracted there. But yeah, there's going to be R&D change, which could shake things up a little bit, could help us out as a team. So, lots to think about if we are changing team. And I feel like we need a bit more downforce through this sector. Just don't feel like cars carrying enough speed. It's not giving me the confidence, but elsewhere it's feeling good. So I think we've got the right setup for the car. Just in the medium to low speed where we're struggling at the moment. Alright, up the hill. Balls.
Final lap. This is the final lap of the program.
That would have been purple. Away Grosjean. He should be out of the way by now. Because I can't go offline, because if I go offline, it will cost me. Right. Still get the purple here. It's not over just yet. That's good. Just got to have a really nice end to the lap now. Lovely. Right, we're on a roll. That's good. So it's just through here. Got to keep things absolutely perfect. Think we're gonna get the purple. Did we get purple? No, we got the green. That's a shame. Oh well. Not too disheartened by that. It was Romain Grosjean's fault anyway, if you know what I mean. Because he was in my way. I guess it's my job to get around him. Right, I'm gonna add a bit more front wing to the car. That's just hopefully gonna increase my speed through the S's, give it a bit more nimbleness. Bit more nimble, you know the word I'm looking for, make the car a bit more nimble through the S's. And through the low speed section, hopefully that just balances out that effect. Because right then we were running 3-4 wings. I'm running quite low wings at the back. I find that better. It makes the car faster in a straight line, of course, running low downforce at the rear. Now, big news. I know this is technically from F1, but there will be, this year, it'll be the first year ever, I do believe, in history possibly, both Sky Sports and F1, and I don't know whether others are doing it, but are actually showing live coverage of Formula 1 winter preseason testing, which in my opinion is amazing, because obviously, don't get me wrong, like, I've always thought, okay, to myself, like, especially, you know, especially last year and the year before, why don't they ever show pre-season testing? Like, okay, maybe the figures, the viewing figures may not ever be high enough, but it would generate interest, especially from the hardcore F1 base, because don't get me wrong, your foundation needs to be happy, okay, to create future generations like myself to get into Formula 1. Now, don't get me wrong, I would say myself, I'm not a hardcore F1 fan, but I would certainly say I'm a genuine F1 fan. I've followed F1 since 7 years old, realistically, since the Italian Grand Prix in 2008. I have followed F1 since that day. My first full season of watching F1 was actually 2010. I used to only catch a glimpse of it back in the day, if you know what I mean, when I went around my grandparents' house. So don't get me wrong, like, this is my foundation, or F1's foundation, or hardcore base. I should be more prioritized than maybe some newbies into the sport, if you know what I mean, or treated more with a personalized experience due to my commitment to F1. Like, if you know what I mean. Like, I've played every F1 game, okay, and I know F1 games are different to Formula 1 in general, but obviously this is a sideshow to obviously F1 in, you know, real life. So yeah, you know, obviously I can't wait till they bring out, or when it goes live, on the, I think it's 18th of February, obviously. Cannot wait myself for one. You know, it's really, you know, cool, that they're doing it, of course, and it's really cool that I'm going to be one of the first people, you know, to witness live F1 live streamed television. I think it's just great they're doing it, if you know what I mean, because, like, it's been years, I think, a bit now long, and years in the making. It should have been done, not now, it should have been done years ago, if you don't get me wrong, because I think this should have happened maybe back in 2010, maybe 11 or 12, you know, when the numbers really started to get into testing. But yeah, I'm glad Liberty Media have made this decision, you know, to make F1 testing a live stream event, and same with Sky Sports. Although I'm aware Sky Sports are only going to cover 4 hours of F1 testing, you know, and the actual F1 TV is going to cover a full 8 hours of F1 testing. So personally, you know, I am thinking of subscribing to F1 TV because of this, in all honesty, for the actual F1 testing, to watch it obviously all live, if you know what I mean. But at the same time, then Sky Sports are offering a very good package as well, so is 4 hours adequate enough? I would certainly say so, but then, you know, are they going to cover 4 hours in the morning, just of the morning period? Or are they going to cover also 4 hours of the afternoon period? Or are they going to split it up into 2 hour segments? Like, how are they going to do it? If you know what I mean. But I'm really, really excited for one. Because, you know, it's something new coming to Formula 1 in general. And that's something I cannot wait for. And as I say, it should have been brought out years ago. It should have been brought out maybe back in 2013, 2014, somewhere in that region, in my opinion. Or maybe even earlier, if you know what I mean. Like, I don't think maybe back in the early 2000s, you know, it could have been achievable, this. But it certainly should have been brought out earlier, like maybe 13, 14, somewhere there. But it's taken to this, it's taken this long, or taken this long, should I say. At least it's arrived now. I am happy for one. You know, I think we can all be happy. And you know what, there was no reason why, in all honesty, it couldn't have been done maybe back in 2013, or maybe a little bit earlier than that. Because they did always have cameras at the Formula 1 testing, of course, as you guys will most probably know. In fact, they always take photos of the cars, and you think, why can't they just show the full 8 hours live, do a live stream? The cameras are there, you know, it just doesn't make sense. But I'm glad now, obviously, they're doing it, and that's a really, really cool experience for everyone. And hopefully it goes to a great success, I hope. But anyway, on with qualifying. So aim for this qualifying must be to qualify in a reasonable position. P12 has to be the lowest expectation, I would say, in my opinion. If we've got the car underneath us, hopefully, which we will have. And anything else is a bonus. If we don't have a car underneath us, then maybe P15 we should aim for, like always, and be a bit more realistic in that expectation. But yeah, kind of not complain. Let's see what we can do. Then obviously really, really excited for this Grand Prix. One of my favourite Grand Prix in terms of, you know, the F1 calendar. One of the best circuits in the world, 100%. It's a very, very basic circuit, this is. But at the same time, even though it's basic, it's so tricky to get right. And that's the odd thing about here. And you know what I think makes this circuit tricky? It's because of the old-fashioned layouts. If you make a mistake, you're on the grass or you're in the barrier, and it's so much, if you get it right, it's so much reward and so fun. You get it wrong, it can be you know, punishing, if you know what I mean. Anyway, through turn 1, through the first spoon, as I like to say, then up through the S's, then obviously, and the car feels good at this point. A little bit wide through that second S, having to recover it all back through here, so probably losing a bit of time, but playing our way out of the S's. Then coming into this first right-hander into the first Lesmo, then through the second Lesmo, then underneath the bridge, then up the hill, then we're going to swoop back on ourselves for this heavy hairpin. Now, two ways or multiple ways to take that hairpin. You can go for a really try and keep momentum up bank hairpin, or take it nice and sharp. Sometimes I like to do a bit of both, mix things up through spoon, then obviously one real line through there, and that certainly wasn't the ideal line through spoon. Anyway, up the hill, coming up to 100 and I think it's 30R, 130R, because it used to be 130 radius degrees, and into the heavy braking zone, making a small braking misjudgment, but it's only first lap, so it is more of a banker lap, and this is easily going to be on pole, or provisional pole should I say, for now, ahead of Brendan Hartley. Kimi Raikkonen taking away our magic spotlight for now, then in obviously now demoting us to second place, but we're ahead of Brendan Hartley there, so can't be too dissatisfied. Obviously that Ferrari is so much quicker than what we've got underneath us, but nonetheless, Esteban Ocon going into second, obviously could be one of the contenders we're fighting with in terms of the championship. Obviously he needs to outscore us on multiple occasions in the next few races. Needs to score 28 points in terms of, you know, to overtake us in the championship. Now don't get me wrong, it's not impossible. That's only one good result from him and a few bad results from us, and guess what, he's overtaken us. But if things doesn't go maybe to the plan, or to maybe quite as levels of success maybe as Ocon needs, then obviously we are safe, I would have thought, based on the average finishing position of the midfield group, if you know what I mean, because obviously we're in the midfield group, as you may establish by now, and obviously, yeah, being in that group, the average finishing position is from anywhere below really 7th on a on a normal day, should I say. On a good day it could be as high as 5th, maybe even the odd podium, and maybe by the rare coincidence a win, but obviously otherwise the average finishing position is in 7th or below. So in theory that means there's 8 points up for grabs, no, 6 points or somewhere in that region's up for grabs every single race, as you probably have already calculated by now. Now we won't be going out just yet, we're going to have a little bit of a wait. We'll do only one more lap because I want to save tyres for race, because this circuit can be quite high tyre wear demanding. Now obviously I just want to work out how many points in theory there are for the midfield group still available, because as I say, right, as you can see, this is so far what the top 6 looks like. We're in 13th, so actually not too bad. So let's work out how many points for us are still available. Because obviously, even though we can get into 6th, I would not doubt it, but it's very rare, if you know what I mean, for any of us to get into 6th. So let's say the maximum points on any given day is 8 points, okay, which is for 6th. Times that by 5. So there's a maximum of 40 points still remaining. We're 28 points ahead, so you see my point. He would have to outscore me by quite a few points per race. Anyway, so we're going to accelerate time. We are going to save one set of tyres, or 2 sets of tyres, for the race, because it can be a quite high wear demanding track. This can be. So a 2-stop could be potentially the way to go, if we feel we can't make it on the 1-stop. I doubt it will be the way to go, don't get me wrong, but we have to be precautious, because I do know sometimes I've actually had to pit on as early as lap 3 because tyre wear has been that demanding around this circuit. It's unreal. So yeah, we do have to make sure we are getting this absolutely right. Anyway, coming out of the pits for what will be our final lap then of the Japanese Grand Prix, especially in attack mode, should I say, or let's say opening up the opening up the oil pumps, should I say, letting that oil go through. So warming up in a bit more of a calmer manner this time. Hopefully that will just get my tyres in the better temperature, because I felt like the tyres going into the first corner were a bit hot, should I say. But yeah, anyway, through first Lesmo right now on this outlap. As I say, there's multiple ways you can take many lines around this circuit. I think we do need to improve, like, you can take either a fast bank line, just like that, and you got to aim for that curve, or you can take a really, really sharp line and focus on acceleration. Just two ways there, really, to really get the car moving out of this corner. Through Spoon, obviously one way I always find to take this corner. The second part you have maybe two ways, but the first part is always one. Right, just warming up a little bit now more aggressively, just getting the tyres up to temps, as you can see. Tyres a little bit less worn this time round. Get the cars into the absolute optimal zone. Then out the final corner, down the start, finish straight. Then let's go on a lap of the Japanese circuit for a second time, and we're already up on the delta. That's hopefully going to be a good sign of things to come as we plough our way through the first turn. Bit scruffy through the first turn, so we lost a little bit of time through turn 2, 3, up through 4, into 5, so not making up too much time through there, and only making up right now a little bit of time, not making up too much. Right, I think we could make up some time through here. Let's see. I think we did make up about a tenth or two through there, which is nice. Now, I certainly know Spoon last time we took it absolutely wrong. This time, taking it a little bit better. That time, taking it much better. So, we're half a second up on our best lap, which is quite nice indeed. So, through 130R. Absolutely flat, of course. And somehow we've lost all the good time, and we have crashed the car.
Let me know you're all right.
Somehow though, we've lost all that time. I just want to see. We were 4 tenths. I think that was good braking, personally. We must have broke well late then into here last time somehow. I thought we did good through here. Right, I can only say we were going to make up 2 tenths, so I'm gonna retire, because I think it's only fair. We did balls it, we put down the throttle too fast, so yeah, that's us retired from the session. We will get to start the race though in P, I think 13.
Down from the excitement of qualifying,
no, sorry, P15. It's okay, I guess. I wish we did better, because it certainly has handed our opposition a huge advantage going into the race. Because as I say, even though for sure we're a long way ahead of both, or we're quite some distance ahead of right now Ocon and Hulkenberg, but we're not impossible to catch, and I really want to finish inside the top 10 in terms of the championship. that would be amazing finish for Season 2. Because obviously, especially in a car where our teammates only scored 1 point at the moment. So, yeah. So we're going to start P15 anyway, so we can't be too disappointed with that, despite the crash at the end, you know, losing the car out of the final time. But we lost somehow, going into the final braking zone, almost, well, half a second practically. Okay, we made up 2/10 on the exit, but we lost half a second on the entry to the right-left chicane out of the final corner. So, very odd scenario there. Very, very odd on that last one. And I don't think the braking was that bad. Like, we must have broke phenomenally late in the first lap. And obviously that put me off, thinking we're going to not be able to make up any time or places.
To feature no retirements at all. Although with a highly competitive field we have today, I don't expect we'll be repeating that stat anytime soon. 18 corners make up a lap of the incredible figure-of-8 Suzuka circuit, with 10 to the right and 8 to the left, for a distance of 3.6 miles. Average lap speeds around here are fairly quick. If it stays dry, then expect somewhere in the region of 136 miles per hour.
Lovely circuit this is. Best circuit. Not best circuit on the F1 calendar, but I don't know, it's up there actually, maybe with best circuit. It's up there. There's so many circuits on the F1 calendar that's historical and brilliant. So
it's going to be a difficult task to move forward from there.
Everyone has to deal with penalties or reliability issues from time
I
to time.
think we are moved up on the grid. Because I've seen our car a lot higher than I think what it should be.
It's about effective damage limitation.
So some must have some penalties for others. Obviously, we've taken our engine penalties. So Ricciardo on pole, that could be good for him. Raikkonen, Vettel, Ocon, Leclerc, Alonso, Hamilton, Perez, Hulkenberg. We're starting 13th, so we're starting 2 positions above where we qualified because of penalties. So that ain't that bad actually. We're a position closer. Why isn't it letting me go to the grid? Right. Anyway, we're going to set off on the formation lap then for this race, of course. And away we go on our formation lap then for round number 17, of course, for F1 2018 Season 2, of course. And yeah, hopefully we'll have a good race. Aim, obviously, to get some points, you know, and hopefully, if possible, we can get or outscore really our 2 championship rivals at the moment. Well, 3 championship rivals: Leclerc, Hulkenberg, Ocon, of course. And if we can do that, that will be obviously good for us, because obviously we will exceed, you know, our goal, of course, and will just help us out going into the last 4 rounds with 100 points remaining in all theory. So yeah, I doubt we're going to score 100 points in the final 2 rounds. In terms of the championship, looking once again very good for Vettel, obviously, considering he's only starting in 3rd, of course. In terms of Bottas, this could be a funeral for him, because obviously, yeah, he's a long way behind, championship leader. And obviously, he's got to get past me, if possible. Only if, and I'm only going to let him through if he's quicker than me, if you know what I mean. If he's not quicker, then why would I let him through? Right, warming up, then brakes, making sure that nice and hot whilst we go into this bit here, and then our brakes are lovely and warm now, so we're getting ready for the start of the Japanese Grand Prix, round number 17, the 17th round on the Formula 1 calendar, of course. And looking forward to it, of course, as we pull into our grid box now, alongside Van Dorn and Valtteri Bottas, of course.
Be patient and watch for the lights.
And obviously, we're going to be ready then. And 5 red lights are on, lights out, and away we go then for the Japanese Grand Prix. It's been an okay start, getting a little bit bogged down. Certainly could have made a better start. Marcus Ericsson overtaking me, and Valtteri Bottas is... You're having an absolute laugh. I want to have a look what happened. Because, right, Ericsson obviously made a fantastic start. I feel like that's his fault in some sense, because he only had a wing in front. Don't get me wrong, like that isn't sufficient. Like, where are you gonna go? He's put his car into a gap that doesn't really exist, and in a way that has sabotaged my race. Right, I'm going to restart the race. Therefore, we don't gain an unfair advantage. We don't lose anything. Because obviously, I want to have a good race. And I don't want bullshit like that. So, attempt number 2. Then. 5 red lights. Lights out and away we go. Getting a similar sort of start to... You're having an absolute joke. Why can't the AI race today? Right, I come across... Yeah, he's just turning into me. There's plenty of space to your right, Ericsson. Right, we're going to restart again. Sorry about this, everyone. This isn't how bad I drive, of course, in real life. It's just the AI are not utilising their brains. Right, attempt number 2. So similar to the first time. This time he's a lot more alongside, so we will give a bit more space. But obviously that has compromised us. And yeah, we are now in 16th. So hopefully that will be the last bit of the first lap troubles, obviously, right now. And anyway, here we go then. We'll get on with the commentating then side of things, and away we go. Oh dear, jeez. Talk about avoiding action. That was that. Stay side by side on the grass. Talk about cutting me out there. Harley's playing a bit of a harder man role today. Trying to cause disruption. So we're in 16th right now after the first few corners.
Okay, we're through the start phase. Now let's build on it.
Right. Flat out. Through 130 yard. Gonna go for a launch down the inside. And there we go, up into what is now 15th, where we should have started. Hartley may have another attack back. What is he doing? What an idiot of a driver. I've given him racing room, and he can't race through there. If you don't feel confident going through there, two side by side, you shouldn't go through there at all, if you know what I mean. Well, that was us taking our meter board. Right. So right now, Ocon, our championship rival, is long way up the road. So just conserving a bit of fuel right now as well.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the softs.
It's funny because I'm pretty sure last time we had a nice battle with Ericsson, and right now we're behind Ericsson at this circuit again. Right, Max Verstappen is on my tail right now, just to let you guys know. Obviously, one of the quickest drivers on the Formula 1 grid. And just tell he is faster. So, it is crucial we get past Max, past Ericsson, but I think Max is going to have us into 130. I'm certainly not going to lift. He's forced me to go wide.
That move was illegal. Return the position.
So we had to give up the position there,
Try to stay with him.
of
Might
course,
make a mistake. Still regain the position.
due to... See, that's what you're meant to do. You're not meant to plow into other cars. I knew we weren't going to fit, so I just hit them brakes. And obviously, both of us don't compromise one another's race. No one's injured, no one's out either.
Shouldn't have to worry about the wear too much right now.
Right. Just thinking, could we jump all this traffic and make it to the end? Most probably could. We're boxing next lap, so I'm going to box this lap. So we're boxing. And we're hoping to jump some of that traffic in front of us from a good outlap. And I think Bottas has got the same idea. Why aren't we going? We could have gone earlier there. My team are really shit at getting the exit right. I really have noticed that. They do a brilliant stop. Fabulous. But then, when it comes to letting me out or letting me go, they just do an absolute joke of a job. Alright, gotta get these tyres straight in. Oh, bit of gravel there. That won't help.
Let's turn up the ERS deployment and burn some of this energy.
So, just trying to go for the undercut here. If this works, we are blessed. If it doesn't, we are screwed. And there is a yellow flag. I don't think we're gonna do it.
Caution, caution.
In fact, we've lost time or what?
Safety car deployed. The safety car
Alright.
has been deployed.
Safety car.
Your Delta. Make sure you keep
Alright,
it
so
positive as we
what has happened here? I don't even know about safety car. What has happened? I just want to see. So, in fact, it may not be as bad as we think. Let's just assess the situation. So, there's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 cars still to make a pit stop. Don't tell me Ocon's out of the race or what's happened here. Ocon's had a huge collision. But then they're going to benefit from the safety car. I'm not sure what's happened. There's a slow Force India. Oh, shit. We've been speeding on the safety car. Right, we just need to slow it down a little bit. Sorry about that. Yeah, there's a Force India. So it is a Force India. And it's Ocon. So I was saying, Ocon needs a good race. And that's Ocon out.
car ahead has come in and fitted the soft tyre.
Alright.
Drop your speed, our delta is too low and we risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately.
So teammates in the
Sergey is
pits.
Sergey in the pits.
And I think they've allowed us to go. Right, if we jump some of them, that's good. We're in 15th. So obviously doing some lifting and coasting. I don't think we're going to get points. Got that feeling. But then again, where I see it, it's not as bad as maybe others' races are going right now. Because Ocon's chance of outscoring us hugely. So let's have a quick look at the race update. So just want to see Hulkenberg's in P9. Yeah, P9, so only going to score 2 points. But it's more about really the 11th man I'm worried about, because even though, the reason why I'm worried about 11th is because, obviously, the thing is, Alonso, Ocon are the big two threats. Hulkenberg's already in the top. Why do we keep doing this? Oh, this race has gone from bad to worse. Now. And we crashed under safety car. Don't worry, we're not the only one that's done that this year. Anyway, yeah, as I was saying, Ocon, and Alonso are technically the big threats because Hulkenberg's already in the top 10. So the worst Hulkenberg can do is push us into 10th. But obviously Ocon and Alonso, they can, or they will, given the opportunity, knock us into obviously that 11th and 12th spot. And that's a spot I don't want to be in come end of season. I want to be in the top, well, I want to be in the top 10. And to do that, need to finish 10th or above. So, yeah, for me, it's not about finishing in the position we are in now, but we do need to pick up 1 or 2 good results along the way. And good news, everyone, no DRS. How many times does that happen this season? Must at least be the 3rd or 4th. Alright, just warming up the tyres, making sure they're nice and warm. I presume safety car will be in this lap, in all good honesty. So, the reason why I say that is because it's been out for 2 laps, or 3. And if it's not in this lap, it'll certainly be in the next lap. I'm going to say this lap, if any. It should come in this lap. There's no reason why it can't.
Safety car in this lap, safety car in this lap. Let's make sure those tyres are up to temperature, and remember there is no overtaking until the first safety car line. Stay in position until the green flags.
Okay, that was alright, weren't great. Hartley's gonna certainly be on our tail. And a yellow flag, it's Leclerc! So Leclerc has spun his car. One of a list of victims now today. It's all going wrong for this midfield group today. Alright. Get a good run through Spoon, hopefully. That's what we need. Not quite. I don't think we're going to be able to do it on Van Dorn just yet. But if we can get a good run through 180R, 180, 130R, I think we can have a launch. Yeah, I'm going for it. I'm not going to give back position because we only overcooked the brakes. We didn't overcook the actual overtake, so we got the overtake done on track. And it hasn't asked me to give back position. Grosjean and Magnussen getting a bit fighty, should I say. Oh no, what's happened? What happened there?
Are you alright? Engine off, engine off.
That should be us out, really. I'm just going to continue on, though, for the entertainment. We sort of lost it on the rear. Slided. And tried to put the power down, not on grass. I will try this again. Oh, we're unstable all of a sudden. Unexpected loss of grip. It started off well this weekend, I will say that. Like, in terms of qualifying and practice, went okay. Didn't go too bad in practice, in all honesty and in all fairness. Then, obviously, the race has just been a bit weird. It's been a bit of bad driving from me at times, I will say that. But at the same time, bad driving from the AI. So, yeah, it's not been the cleanest of races, but I can't complain either. Like, yeah. Idiots. See, this is why cars' teammates should never race side by side. Because they act stupid. Like, that's the thing about teammates in this game, they're a bit stupid, like, they're gonna take one another out at this rate.
Okay, we've lost a position. That's us down a place.
Because obviously they are slowing down this field. Bit annoying this is, obviously. Magnussen and Grosjean right now acting like stupid people.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining.
Like, why would you fight your own teammate? Surely the team would intervene and tell Grosjean to get out of the blemming way, if you know what I mean. Because Grosjean is holding up not only his teammate, but also holding up me in some sense. Because I'm having to back off a little bit. Mad them two are. And that's so slow. Grosjean's made a big mistake. DRS is now back online, that's good. Grosjean. Alright. Grosjean, piss off. We're up into P12. Yes. Funny, that was where we finished last time. In this Japanese Grand Prix, like last season. In Season 1. So, bit annoying that is. But, oh well. Right. We're on final few laps now of the Japanese Grand Prix at the circuit of Suzuka. Oh, woo. Got a bit too much curb there. Need to calm down on the curb. Right, turning everything up. Should have enough fuel to make it to the end. Got a little bit of wing damage. That's causing us a little bit of less front end downforce.
This is your final lap of the race. We're leading our teammate by 1.5 seconds.
That was sweet through there. Should have enough fuel to take me to the end of the Grand Prix with half a lap remaining. Just utilising every inch of track available. So there we go. Daniel Ricciardo is the Japanese Grand Prix winner and will end, I'm pretty sure, Vettel's run of Grand Prix victories in a row sort of thing. We come home in P12. Same result as last year for us.
Okay, good job, mate. Really well done.
But oh well.
Fantastic drive.
Can't be too disheartened by that. We did alright then there. Like, we didn't do too bad. And we didn't do too great either, but we gotta be reasonably happy with it, if you know what I mean. Especially, like, because, yeah, we started 15th. And for whatever reason, don't get me wrong, we just didn't do a great job overall all weekend then. Thank you, Eaton Brudrick. I presume it's something like that. Brudrick. So yeah, thank you. I'm doing fine. Thank you. Thanks for popping in one more time. Obviously, very much appreciated, of course. And there we go. Daniel Ricciardo is your race winner today. Then Kimi Raikkonen in second and Vettel in third, obviously. So good result for Daniel Ricciardo overall then, in all honesty. And yeah, good result also for Kimi Raikkonen as well, outscoring his teammate. Obviously only by 3 points, but still outscoring your teammate is always what you want in Formula 1, because that is how you make your name in Formula 1. Anyway, so Daniel Ricciardo came home in first place, Raikkonen second, Vettel third, fourth is Perez, fifth Hamilton, sixth Fernando Alonso, seventh Carlos Sainz, eighth is Nico Hulkenberg, and ninth is Bottas, and Marcus Ericsson picking up one last point in 10th. Thank you. Honestly, no, it means a lot for everyone to drop in, okay, by the way, because obviously, you know, it's nice to, you know, it's just a real honour, privilege to serve entertainment, of course, to people. Anyway, in terms of championship standings, of course, then Ferrari lead the way now by quite a convincing 91 points over Mercedes. It's certainly looking like a Ferrari championship once again, because Ferrari did win the Constructors in Season 1, but failed to secure the Drivers' Championship, with Lewis Hamilton taking that, of course. In terms of the drivers, of course, the gap now to Lewis Hamilton is 112 points, which means he can no longer 110% secure his Drivers' Championship, meaning it will have a new champion at the end of the season, most likely Sebastian Vettel. In fact, he's actually only 5 points away from being crowned world champion. If he outscores Daniel Ricciardo and Valtteri Bottas in the next round, he will be Drivers' Champion after the next round. But that's only a if. There's no guarantee. It is more of a question of when, not if or who now. It's just a question of when will Vettel be crowned champion. If it ain't next race, then it most likely will be the race after. And if it ain't the race after, it certainly will be the race after that. But it's more of a if. Well, not if. It's more of a when he will be champion and where he will be champion. You know, and we'll have to wait and see. So next episode could be a big one for Vettel. Of course, could be champion by the end of the next episode. Well, we're in 9th. Alonso's certainly taken a chunk out of our lead, and same with Nico Hulkenberg. Obviously, 20 points now, the gap to 11th. Obviously, aim is to stay in P10 for the end of season, and if possible, maybe even get P8 or P9, of course. But P10 is the minimum. P8 is probably the maximum that we can achieve now. So yeah, that is the aim. Because I think P7, 99 points compared to 30 points for us, I think is going to be impossible to achieve. So there we go. So that is that.
Amazing performance out there. You must be really happy.
Right, let's
You're
do
breaking all
the...
expectations. What's your secret?
Well, that would be telling. I think that would be the nice one to put.
Would you say that your rival is still on your
Bit
level?
devious. I'm gonna have to be a bit cocky there and say no.
Right. Well, that's everything.
Because he really ain't. He's only scored 1 point all season compared to my 70. Not been funny. I think we're on a different level. Maybe in terms of pace we're on the same level, but in terms of results, no, we're not on the same level, if you understand. Like, I've outscored him numerous occasions now. And yeah, there you go. I also won the rivalry against him. So there we go. That is that done then. Now
great work. That's exactly
there we go.
The kind of result I'm looking for. Keep it up.
That's that.
We've received invitations
done.
to new historic events. You'll be able to choose whether or not to participate.
So we're gonna now select our last what you call it, last thingy. So these are all safe for season 2 now. Season 3 technically. Of course. I'm gonna upgrade, I think, the chassis. Try and get that ready. So that'll be at the next race. That should be, which is nice. So yeah, that will put us more or less in terms of chassis wise, on par with Haas, Alfa Romeo, Sauber, and McLaren. And in terms of the actual development tree, that'll put us right nice. And then we'll just save up 4 races worth of points, spend them going into season 2. We may stay with Williams for season 2. It's looking more attractable race by race. Anyway, we'll get, into the next sort of weekend, if you know what I mean. Select the tyres, make sure we get them upgrades, and then that will be the end of that. Get any questions in if you wish to do so down below. You can ask anything. Could be regarding F1, anything you wish to do so. Feel free to ask.
The new parts have arrived from the factory without issue. They'll
That's
be fitted
good.
to the car in time for the next session.
I've been in touch with some
There you
contacts
go.
at Toro Rosso, and they think your attitude and results might be a good fit for their team. We can talk to them at our next contract review if you're interested. Let's see what kind of offer we can put on the
Right.
table. Remember to select a driver that you consider your rival from the rivalry screen on the workstation. Performing well against your rival can earn you respect and better terms when it comes to our contract reviews.
Based on the amount of points, I'm going to select a rival. Based on the amount of points, I have to select Charles Leclerc because he is actually closer to me in terms of that. If you know what I mean, he is actually closer of all drivers. So yeah,
Here you can see a list of
I'm going to have
eligible
to select
drivers to
Leclerc
declare as
as
your
my
rival.
rival.
The more
But I love how
challenging
I
they
can
are to
select,
beat,
what
the
you
more the
call
public
it,
will respect you for
Hamilton.
succeeding.
Anyway,
Just be aware, you'll lose the same amount of respect if you come off second best. So it
So
may
there
be
we
wise
go.
not to be overly ambitious.
Right. That is that then, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this stream. Of course, finishing P12 in the race then there. And that is actually our first P12 position finish since the Bahrain Grand Prix. So it's been so long since we've finished in that position. It's what? That's 15 Grand Prix not finishing in P12. Which is actually quite nice and quite good actually in some regards. So yeah, can't complain, and obviously it's our second P12 at the Japanese Grand Prix, because last year I think we came home in P12. Yeah, we did. So 4 races to go now, until the end of season now, so can't complain too much. Hopefully we'll get it done before the end of January, and then season 3 is start of February for 100%. Obviously this week's been a really busy week. I had my mother's birthday on yesterday, the 23rd. So yeah, you know, I had to do that, celebrate that with her. Then of course, today went out for driving lessons, because I'm actually learning to drive myself, so you know, it's been quite busy. Saturday and Sunday didn't really get much of a chance to do much. On Sunday I think I uploaded a stream of my Grand Tour game review. Go check that out. It's a bit okay, good game, okay, but the stream, I mean, wasn't that great. Just loads of problems on that day for whatever reason. One moment my TV went blank, then I got a copyright notice from YouTube saying that, you know, I've done something, because there's clips in there from the actual show, if you understand what I mean. So they were picking up on them clips from the show, so yeah. And then obviously, yeah, you know, I think this is actually my first video since last Thursday, where I did actually upload, I think. So yeah, it's obviously been a bit of break in a way from actually uploading live, but it's not really, I'm not saying it ain't my fault, obviously, but yeah, you know, obviously I'm trying to get into the habit, but then things keep on getting in my way, if you know what I mean, because obviously life comes first as well, and if you know what I mean, got things to do as well. So yeah, I try to upload as regular as possible, but it is hard obviously to upload as regular as possible because I've got other things to do, and yeah, but anyway, nonetheless, hopefully we'll have a good result in the USA Grand Prix. This is probably my most favourite modern circuit out of all. And there's only a few modern circuits. And what I mean by modern circuits, circuits that have been added to the calendar in recent years. And if you know what I mean. And that's not been on the calendar before. So Russia would be one. Singapore, I would say now, starting to become a medium classic. France could be 2, because obviously I don't think they've ever raced at Paul Ricard in Formula 1, not sure, do correct me if I'm wrong. China also could be 3, and Azerbaijan could be 4, and obviously the USA. So 4 Grand Prix in recent times have been added to the list of tracks that have obviously been updated or added to the calendar. Obviously USA is 1, and this has to be probably my favourite modern circuit, followed by Russia, then France. Maybe France would be actually number 2, then Russia, then Azerbaijan would be the 4th and final one. Oh yeah, and Abu Dhabi, I forgot about Abu Dhabi, because obviously that was 2009, so yeah, probably have to include that in that list. So yeah, probably then on our update then, USA, France, Abu Dhabi, Russia, Azerbaijan. Obviously that's only in F1 2018 though, the game. In terms of the actual circuits, probably yeah, same way actually. Maybe put Azerbaijan before Russia in terms of circuits, if you know what I mean. Maybe even before Abu Dhabi in terms of, you know, circuit layout, but in terms of the circuits on the game, it would have to be USA, France, Abu Dhabi, Russia, Azerbaijan. But yeah, because Azerbaijan just cannot drive, and you're slow as a peanut. Russia, you can corner cut everywhere, so it makes the challenge of playing the game not really challenging, if that makes sense. And the tire wear is next to nil. Obviously, well, you know, Mexico, Abu Dhabi is, well, I think Kimi Raikkonen described it once best. The first few corners are alright, but the rest of it is shit. And that's literally the way he described it. And yeah, I completely agree. The first few corners are really, really nice, but then the rest of it just falls to bits, if that makes sense. Very, very slow corners, too much straights, if you know what I mean. It feels like the corners have been put there by robots, if that makes sense. Especially in the final sector, and it doesn't provide great racing. And then obviously, you know, well, the next one, France. France is good, I think, personally. It's very, very nice circuit, France is, of course. And the USA, I think, is the best. It's got the right elevation change. It's good for racing. Provides exciting racing. Good for strategies as well, surprisingly. I remember the USA Grand Prix this year obviously delivered a fantastic win for Kimi Raikkonen. And a brilliant strategy by Ferrari. A masterstroke strategy in some sense. But also, at the same time, not only was it a masterstroke strategy, it provided good racing. There was overtaking, there was good strategy calls, good for tyre wear, like, provided, you know, that strategy, you'd either go one stop or two stop. So really did provide good racing, and even in the game, you can race there. Like, and then you got the fast sweeping left right, Maggots and Beckett's replica from Silverstone, of course, which, you know, provides great racing. Reminds me a little bit of Istanbul, the USA circuit, and probably not many people would say that, but obviously if you look at the Istanbul circuit and, you know, the USA circuit, I think they look pretty similar, because Istanbul, obviously, racetrack, obviously, if you have a look, go on Google Images, of course, you know, there's obviously, after turn one, like, I'm not saying turn one, but turn one, obviously, sort of is a bit like Istanbul, if that makes sense. In terms of a layout, I think they look quite similar. Dakota and Istanbul, like, turn one leads on to turn 2 and 3. And then obviously, you know, you have that swooping right, left. It, to me, looks similar, but just a bit upside down, if that makes sense. Tell me your opinion on that, of course. That's, you know, but yeah. Anyway, have a good evening, have a good night. See you all next time. Subscribe to my channel if you're new. Give this video a thumbs up. Very much appreciated. And see you all next time for round 18, the USA Grand Prix.